Folks, welcome back to Early Settler Stadium, where we'll have shortly the Skytrans Cairns Marlins taking on the Seahawks men's team. Co-host Al Lowson from the Taipans has joined me back in the commentary box. Been off talking to the coaches, and what did you find out about this match for us, Al?
Well, first of all, Gav, it's lousy, mate. It's lousy all the way through and through. Coach Jamie O'Loughlin for the Marlins, he's really looking for some consistency from his guys. He's found the peaks and the troughs and the valleys too deep. He's trying to stem the flow of those momentums by just having guys be consistent on their tag-ups, consistent on all their defensive principles. It sounds boring, but it's bigger picture stuff that he's really focused on, which is the positive. For the Seahawks, they know they've got a young squad. They're here to establish their culture. They're here to establish their identity. Coach Loy is not under any illusion, like they're just going straight to the promised land. They're trying to do the right things and recruit the right character people in their squad. But it's exciting for the Seahawks to field these two teams in the league, new to the league, trying to establish themselves. They're an up-tempo team. Yeah, they're going to be looking to really run the floor and just see what shakes. They're a young side. They've got guys leaving for college pretty soon. They've got, a bit of a revolving door of players. The Marlins are a young side too, but they've got some seniority. They've got some established NBL type caliber players. It'll be interesting to see how the Marlins can perform tonight after the last couple of home game losses to Mackay and Rockhampton respectively.
Well, that's a good insight of what the Seahawks want to achieve in their first year, Al. The Marlins, as you said, they're a young team as well. Kwani, one of the Taipans contracted players, and Anthony Fisher, the captain, has been around the development teams of the Taipans for a while now. So, you said that they have a bit of seniority with what's been happening. They've got the players. New coach this year, though, with Jamie O'Loughlin, and he's, as you said, pointed out that they haven't had the consistency of what they've had in previous years. So a challenge for them to get across that tonight and get this win across the board.
The big news for Marlins, obviously, is the introduction of Fabian Krislovic he's from Australia, but he's been at the University of Montana, the Montana Grizzlies, and he joins the Marlins tonight as Caleb Davies steps out from his fill-in role. Fabian's now available, and he's been looking to find an impact straight away.
And we'll pause now for the national anthem, folks. So as you mentioned there, Lousy, a new import coming in for the Marlins tonight, and he's come across from Montana, Australian-born, he's been over there in college. What else have you got on him?
Well, I can tell you, I know his coach at the University of Montana, Coach Travis DeCure, was my assistant coach when I was at Old Dominion University. So I spoke to him during the week, and he said, with Fabian, he couldn't praise him highly enough. He's high IQ, just a quality player. Average only 7 to 8 points a game in his senior year, but he affected the play so much that it led to them winning the championship in their conference these last 2 seasons, which is it's a huge asset to have on any team. So Jamie O'Loughlin's had him before. There was a World Championships team, a junior team, and Fabian was on that, so they're well acquainted, Jamie O'Loughlin and Fabian Krislovic. I believe I've got the pronunciation correct.
I was hoping you were going to say that first because I was a bit scared of the pronunciation on that one.
I looked it up, Gav. I looked it up. I wanted to make sure.
I looked it up as well, but I thought, Big Lousy will get that one for me. But as you said, made a couple of Australian teams in the junior ranks.
Yep.
Gold medal, silver medal. Then he's had the 4 years at the University of Montana, and his senior year he averaged 7.7 points and 5 rebounds per game. But he shot that at 60%.
And that's a real high percentage. You say, oh, you should have shot the ball more, but he's such an unselfish player. Coach DeCure obviously went on to say, you know, they won the highest number of conference wins as a percentage in the history of the Big Sky Conference when Fabian was there, which is a huge thing. Coach DeCure went on further to just compliment myself. I won't go into detail of it. It's a long email. I won't bore you with those things, but I'm really excited for Fabian to be here with the Marlins. It's going to be interesting to see. A bit like the Dolphins, can they get that chemistry right at the start? It's going to take a few quarters to get going, but I'm really excited about this Marlins side.
Looking at your notes there, Lousy, I think you must have forgot to bring that email in of all the praise for you from your coach, because it's a very short email you've got. So.
Look, there's a bit of a blank space in between the paragraphs.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
But there was some positive words there, I think. The Seahawks.
Yeah, you're right.
The Seahawks obviously coming off a loss last night to the Townsville Heat. Bit of a baptism of fire for the Sunshine Swing. They lost their own down 82 to 121. Pretty much for the Seahawks, although they're a young side, look for Jamison to really do the bulk of the damage. Campbell's going to be a key look in for the bigs for the Seahawks. They're really a young side. They'll have to establish, you know, their main guy. Goldfinch as well. He had 28 points last night, Gav. You know, they just came up short. Obviously, too much firepower for Townsville. It's always tough, though, to come into a hostile environment here in Cairns on the second game of a double-header. But Coach, you know, he's looking for energy. He's looking for an up-tempo style for the Seahawks, and I think we'll get that tonight.
So the Marlins starting with their 2 imports, Fisher, Kwani, and also Jerlina. As Fish takes the ball up for the first possession for the Marlins. Back out to Fish, off for an early 3, and that's gone down, nothing but net. Great start for the Marlins.
Anthony has been a revelation. He's been a whole new kettle of fish, pun intended. And he drains the 3 almost from the car park there, Gav, but he's really shown some huge improvements this year. I've definitely been impressed with his poise and how he's gone about his business for the Marlins. Juralina unable to get the 2 to go. Rebound by Krislovic, the pass from Fisher to Kwani. Great start for the Marlins.
So a 5-0 start after the pressure on the inbound after the first bucket. Got the ball back after a 5-second violation. Seahawks up the court now. Jamison heading towards the bucket. Puts up the shot. And that misses. And got the Marlins back up the court. Kick out back to Fish. Fake. And puts up a nice little floater. And that's another 2 points for Fish. So 7-0 start here for the Marlins in the first minute of the play of the first quarter. So back to Jamison, who passes off. A nice little 3-point shot there from Goldfinch. So Krislovic is certainly in the first part of the play. He's being involved in all of this set.
Marlins with some nice ball distribution early on. It went from Krislovic out to the wing, to the baseline, back to Julian, who drives in, gets a nice little spin, gets the 2 points to go. That ball touched every of the Marlins' hands in that play.
So out to Goldfinch there in the corner, but he's stepped out of play, and that's going to be a Marlins ball. So Fish inbound to Jolena, bring the ball up. Newelly sets this partial screen, back out to Krislovic. Fish again,
wide
another
open.
long three, and once again, that Fish is all net.
He drains it from deep. He's got his eye in already.
It's 12-3 after a minute and 20 seconds in this game. Sorry, 2 minutes, 20 seconds. And again, Goldfinch in the corner, steps out of play for the second time in the second play.
Goldfinch, one of the young ones that Coach Loy was talking about. He's heading over to college soon. He's in their starting lineup. He's a big player for them so far, but he's off to bigger and better things in a few weeks' time. Mike Newellaway from three, can't get it to go.
An attempted block there by Kwani, but he's been called for the foul on that.
Loy with a nice, rejects the on ball, drives through the laneway there. Kwani came across. I thought he got a good piece of the ball there. But unfortunately, gets called for the foul.
So Remy Lawyer at the free throw line. Makes the first. And the second, so that's 100% from the free throw line, as it's now 12-5 ball game, 7 minutes to go in the first. Krislovic to Kawani. Back to Kawani, and he drives to the bucket. Great play, and he gets net for that one as well. 2 points to Kawani.
Some good ball moving by the Marlins. It went around the horn, it came back to Kawani. One dribble from outside the three-point line, and he's on the rim. That's the kind of Kawani that we need for the Taipans. Great job, Kwani. He's off to the free throw line to get the and one. But great ball movement by the Marlins.
We have a timeout here.
Promising start from the Marlins, 14-5. Coach Lawyer looking to just get his guys settled, get the Seahawks settled in. They had the game last night to dust off the cobwebs of the trip up to Cairns. Let's get back to moving the ball like we know we can do so well. We do have a young squad. Get a hand, for goodness sake, get a hand up on Fisher, is what Coach Lawyer is telling his Chargers. Get a hand up, he's hit two already. We've got to stop some of those open looks.
So Fisher's got 8 points at the moment for the Marlins. Kwani's got 4, but he's going to go to the stripe to get that one more.
I can confirm the pronunciation of Michael Newellaway. I was at Wade's yesterday or the other day, and I said, Mike, how do you say your name? And he's like, have a guess. I'm like, Newellaway, and he's like, it's Newellaway. I was like, exactly how it's spelled. Great, that's great. We got that under control. So Newellaway.
Newellaway is the way to go.
Newellaway is well underway and looking to have a big contribution to the Marlins this season.
So Kawani steps up to the stripe as Newellaway does up his shoelaces.
Interestingly, Marlins still have a import spot up their sleeve. Fabian, obviously a high profile, but still a local. Newellaway, the only import so far. They do have that position up their sleeve should they need one.
So when you say an import, it could actually be a restricted player. So
yeah, that's what I mean. They're restricted or an import.
Oh, rejected there by Newellaway as Fish ends up with the ball. Finds Kruzovic. And that's going to be a Marlins ball from the baseline.
It's a nice drive base by Gerlina. He got all the way to the rack. He was hounded by 2 or 3 Seahawks. Gerlina managed to find that open pass up to Krislovic. Didn't quite get the 2 to go. It'll be a Seahawks ball.
So the Seahawks coming off that big loss in Townsville last night. As you said, a young team. They look like they've got a fair bit of enthusiasm that they're looking to play with tonight.
And Jamison is a big-time player. He'll be their main go-to guy. He had a nice little drive off the 45 there. Felt the contact, went for the reverse. Unfortunately, he couldn't get the roll. But if he can open up the floor like that, get to the rack, get to the free throw line, it really goes a long way in leading this young Seahawks side. Quinton Campbell, another one for the Seahawks. We're looking to get established early. They probably need to get a few touches going his way so he can dust off the cobwebs from the Townsville trip.
It's a hard game for these new teams, doing the road double from Townsville up to Cairns.
And by cobwebs, I mean he dropped 20 last night. So Campbell will be looking to definitely put big points on the board for the Seahawks.
Well, he had 20 and Goldfinch had 28, so 2 players that can certainly put the ball in the hole for us. So as Fish brings the ball in from the baseline. Llewellyn off to Jelena. Jelena looks for the 3-point shot, comes in a little bit off the elbow, puts up the shot but gets fouled.
That's a smart play by a strong shooter. You've driven up, you've beaten your first line of defense, but on your pull-up, he's gone into you, made the bump, you've still got the shot off. Instead of maybe passing out, finding someone else, you've gone, I'm taking this shot, and you draw the foul, get the two free throws. Of course, you want it to drop and get the N1, but you take the two freebies any day of the week.
So 15-7, 6 minutes to go. Jelena at the line.
DP for Sydney Kings last year, running around down there. Keen to obviously try at the QBL, put up some good numbers in those lower leagues. He's up here now to prove his worth. Hopefully, maybe he gets a DP spot for the Taipans. That's what he's searching for.
Well, good luck to him there, and we'll see the Seahawks really pushing the ball up here. And
good defense by Kwani. Kwani using those long arms, deterred the shot. Marlins with the ball. Kwani to the rack. Oh my goodness! Kwani with the one-hand throwdown off the left foot. That was nice. That was nice.
Certainly brought the crowd to their feet and made them very vocal in this place tonight.
That's the kind of athleticism I want to see from the 3-man.
So Jelena again driving for the bucket. Gets called for foul again, so he's going off to the line. So missed the last 2. Let's hope he gets these 2.
Marlins moving with purpose to the rack. That's what you want to see. Confident plays at the rim, drawing the fouls, getting to the free throw line. Kwani, my goodness, that was it. Ali's shaking his head now. He's like, no, believe in it, Kwani. You don't shake your head on that. You nod your head. You're like, yes, I've got this. It's always in the repertoire. And here it comes.
So the first one of that set, throwdowns for Jelena, and it's 2 from 2 on that one. So he's now 50% from the free throw line, and with 5 minutes 10 to go, it's 19 points to 7. The Marlins in front.
Pressure extended up the floor from O'Loughlin's Marlins.
And Goldfinch again takes his 3-point shot and steps out of court. That's the 3rd time that he's done that on the same side.
I believe it's regulation court size, Gav. I think.
We'll have to get the tape measure out at half-time, I think, Mousy. And
there are a few other lines, though, on the floor, but Seahawks got to be careful. They want to let this deficit get out to too much.
So Grislovic drives to the bucket.
It's a nice Euro step. Nice little right to left Euro step from Krislovic. He's got some nimble feet. I really like this early signs from the big man. Llewellyn across to Gerlina, who's a good 3-point shooter.
And underneath the basket, Krislovic has been pushed out. And that's going to be a foul on the Seahawks. Krislovic is going to take a break here while Matt Smith checks in for the Marlins. So they bring in a little bit of experience, or should we be gentle and not say too much about Matt's age?
We're not gentle with Matt Smith. He's done an excellent job getting his body in shape, getting himself into position where he can contribute to the Marlins. Jolina with a tough baseline jump shot, gets it to go. I think there was a bit of contact there.
Yeah, I think there was contact there as well. He played through it and scored for the Marlins. It's 21-7. Shot for the Seahawks, and Kawani leaps above the group to grab down that rebound as Fish takes the ball back up. Into Nuelaway, straight to the bucket, and an easy two for Nuelaway.
Nuelaway, nice, shifts to the left hand for the finish. Real stable, real strong base, Nuelaway, as he drives in and gets that nice little left to go. Campbell trying to make some things happen for the Seahawks. It's obviously a big deficit now for the Seahawks. Campbell can find some open shooters as well. He's drawing 2 or 3 guys in. He's got the first half of that play right. If he can just find those open shooters, things will start opening up.
So Goldfinch takes the inbound, has given it to Campbell, working for the shot, leaves himself up with a shot.
Great hustle by Seahawks to pulling that rebound. Second chance points are going to be key for a younger side.
Great D from Matt Smith there.
Russell with the 2, had a nice little spin and a right hand hook from Russell. A much needed 2 from the Seahawks. Nuelaway on the drive, tried to find Matty Smith, deflected out of bounds. But it will be a Seahawks ball. Matty Smith couldn't reel it in after that deflection.
So Matzek comes in for Jelena, and the pressure's put on by the Marlins up the court on the inbound pass. Campbell now has it.
Coach O'Loughlin feeling that pressure is a little bit off. He can bring in a few more players off the bench with such a strong lead. Matchesek couldn't reel it in. Seahawks down the other end. Goldfinch is fouled by Fish. Wasn't going to concede the easy 2. I think Finch might have gone up for the 2.
And the referees have had a conversation about that one and have confirmed that that's going to be an unsportsmanlike foul on Anthony Fisher.
They've deemed Fish was behind the play, didn't make a good enough play on the ball. Goldfinch will be to the line for 2 and the side ball. They've really cut down on these, or stepped up, I should say, on these intentional fouls. It's not an unsportsmanlike in a sense that it's a bad play. It's a technical kind of a foul that says we're going to give that offensive player the advantage. You can't just go in for the swipe just to rule him out. Otherwise, there'll be penalties. Seahawks down by 12.
As Goldfinch picks up another 2 points, 23-11. Just under 3 minutes to go in this first quarter. Goldfinch again attacks. Passing around the perimeter into Campbell. Campbell puts up the shot, and great rebound to Nuelaway. Quick outlet pass to Kawani. Finds Matzek, back to Kawani, and he puts up the 3. And that's a foul called on Matt Smith for holding underneath the basket.
Bit of a wrestle under the hoop as the shot was going up. Just looking at Campbell's shot, he's got a few looks off. He elevates nice and high for his jump shot. He's obviously enjoyed some scoring last game. Hasn't been able to really connect on the shots so far in this game here, but he's definitely got a few off. If he can just get his eye in, then that'll really help the Seahawks out if he get a few to drop.
Yes, hasn't had one drop yet. He's had 4 shots, but not made one. It's Tyrus' first points for the Seahawks as he drops that first free throw. One from two for Tyrus at the line, 23-12, 2.5 to go in the first quarter. Jelena inside to Nwelaway, and Nwelaway well above the hoop to slam that one through.
Nwelaway with a nice flush, a two-hand flush off the 2-foot jump. Nice dish by Matty Smith. Marlins with 2 of their starters and 3 of their bench. A nice little combination here, and some great ball movement by the Marlins as they get the deflection.
It's out of bounds off the Seahawks, so it's a Marlins ball. Jacoby Hunter brings the ball up for the Marlins. Looking for Matt Smith at the inside. Pass goes astray, and that's going to be a Seahawks ball.
That's what you call a little bit too much mustard on that pass from Jacoby to Smith.
So we've got 1:50 to go in this first quarter with 25-12. Marlins out by 13 points. Seahawks pulling back to reset here. 3-point shot goes up. And rebound by Quinton Campbell, and that is 2 points to Campbell.
And that's how you get yourself established. You get the hustle plays, you get the rebound, the putback. That gets you going. He'll be confident after that nice little easy deuce. Nwelaway short on the turnaround, Jay. Seahawks coming back now. They're feeling the momentum shift back a bit in their favor. They get a few more good looks in play here. Campbell with a 3, feeling it now.
So 28-17 in the last minute of this first quarter. That's 5 points. Pass off to Matty Smith. Puts up the jumper, doesn't quite connect. And off to Jamison. Push all the way from coast to coast, and he scores another 2, 25-19.
And that's a strong drive to the bucket. Nice little finish on the rim. He really pulled up slowly, that change of pace, had Jelena jumping past. Nice finish by Jamison.
And that's a 3 by Metzek. So 28-19, 20 seconds to go in this first quarter. Seahawks will push it down for the last possession of this quarter. Jamison at the top. Nwelaway keeping a guard on Jamison. Pushes to the basket now.
Nice little no-look pass to the big fella. It was a no-look pass to Russell. Assistant coach on the Seahawks wants him to flush that bad boy with 2 hands and get the dunk. He's trying to inspire his youngsters to finish strongly at the rim. Marlins with a nice little lead here, 28-19. Coach O'Loughlin's going to be happy with that. He had contributions off the bench. Joel hit that nice 3 to that last possession for the Marlins. That's what you want. You want to be able to establish confidence in your bench, and he's established it early in the first quarter. That means later in the game, he knows he can go back to those same bench players to hopefully deliver. They'll be feeling confident as well. For the Seahawks, though, they stemmed the bleed. They cut the bleeding off. They've brought the deficit back. They can continue to get on the rim, get those tough finishes, and get to the stripe. They're going to be staying in this contest.
Their Fish started off on fire, 8 points in that first minute, and he's still got 8 points at quarter time. So they certainly put a hand up on Fish and shut down his opportunities.
And with the lead, Coach O'Loughlin was able to rest Fish as well, saving him for the rest of this game. He's going to be crucial down late in the stretch. Coach Lawyer for the Seahawks is saying he does have a young side, but they're always in the contest. And we've seen signs early in this or the second half of that first quarter of them coming back, turning the tables and cutting that deficit down. It's a bit too much for my liking at 9 points, but it's still well within touch of the Marlins. We spoke about Coach O'Loughlin trying to manage those peaks and those valleys, those big momentum shifts, trying to balance out that game with more consistency and discipline. You've got to be happy with that first quarter of 28 points. He's got to be feeling relaxed after that good effort so far.
Yes, a little bit more relaxed than when Fish was called for that foul. He was certainly having a bit of a yarn to a couple of the referees to get an explanation on that one.
But you've got to have passion, Gav, and you've got to be jumping up and down on the sidelines to state your claim as a coach. Just giving the refs something to think about, to say, hey, I'm still here. I'm not just going to be sitting on the bench here. You're going to have to hear from me if you mess up.
Absolutely. So Jamison has the ball. Off to Lomax, who gets stuck down on the baseline there. For a
good D by the Marlins. They've really constricted the flow of the ball movement, kept it to one side. Jamison on the up fake and under. I wonder if he called bank on that too. He needed it to go.
He got Kawani in the air and it just went underneath him.
You'll take those ones, especially to open up the account.
Jelena, pass off to Vatsek, back to Jelena, puts up the three, and all that's in and out. Jamison brings the ball back down again for the Seahawks. He's certainly going to be the one that they go to while they've got Campbell on the bench.
Drives deep, spins back, finishes, elevates, puts the easy deuce in. He'll be trying to lead the Seahawks to peg this deficit back. Only 5 points now, well within reach. Marlins still rolling with a couple of their bench guys.
And Hunter with that rebound. Finds Krislovic all the way to the bucket. A bit too strong with that shot.
Just smoked the finish there, but nice spin move, nice little elevation. He's got real strong base, Krislovic, and I really like what he can bring to the table. Jamison frustrated, got a nice little dish off for the easy two. The Seahawks couldn't convert. They're the kind of buckets that bite you at the end of the game, like, oh, really needed that two to drop.
Krislovic has it again, off to Jelena. He goes all the way to the bucket. Fair bit of contact, I thought, there. And that's still going to be a Marlins ball. 8 minutes to go, 28-23.
They're getting past that first line of defense. They're drawing two guys. You've got to find those open shooters and really punish the D. You've done the hard work, now reward yourselves. Marlins inbound from the base.
So Kawani picks up the loose ball, driving for the bucket, puts it up, and a very late whistle.
You can see they're getting into the lane. The finishers are trying to finish over a couple of Seahawks defensive players. If you find the open players for the easy shots, that's the kind of looks that you want to take. I'd like to almost see them establish Krislovic in the post a bit more. Maybe see what he can do as a distributor from the post, or maybe he can go one-on-one himself. But Kawani will definitely try and reward himself with 2 free throws here. As the Marlins frustrated that lead, all of a sudden has vanished. It's down to 5.
The referee's just talking to both coaches here. I'm not sure what that one's about. But as Kawani steps up the line, he made his first free throw, so another one will be 2 from 2.
You know that 1 foot throwdown for Kawani. Kawani will be on the Instagram feeds and the feeds this week. I'll definitely be liking it.
He's on the court, but I'm sure it's already been sent to all of his tight ends mates on the WhatsApp.
I think he got subbed out so he could quickly post it.
That's another 2 points for Kawani. 3 from 3 from the free throw line. And 7-point margin with 7:55 to go in the second quarter. Oh, great block there by J.B. Hunter. And all the way, and that's a massive slam. Boom.
Jacoby with the steal is so elastic. He just, once he knew he had open lane in the full court, just elevated off that 1 foot, two-hand throw down. And he's had a few throwdowns in practice. I remember Coach Kelly went to one of the Marlins workout trainings. Jacoby rips base, just flushes it nicely.
Got to practice them to be able to do them in the game, and he's certainly put that one down with plenty of authority.
If you think Kwani's slam will be on the socials, Jacoby's will be, it might even be a boosted post.
He'll be subbed out in a minute to get that done as Newellaway goes all the way to the rim. Can't get it to drop, but he'll go to the free throw line for a couple more.
The Seahawks just fracturing a bit now. Jamison's got to, as soon as that stoppage in play happens, he's led them at the offensive end. When there's a break in play, you've got to huddle your players together. This is a young side. They're not used to some of the protocols, some of the culture things yet. But if Coach Lawyer is correct in what he's saying, he wants to build the right team. The leaders have got to pull in all those guys to get those huddles in nice and quick. And then they can talk about their next offensive set.
Newellaway misses his first from the free throw line. And the second, but what a jump by Kwani to get the rebound and put it back. Another 2 points for Kwani. Kwani takes him to 11.
And that's what he does so well. He gives you that extra energy plays. He gives you those hustle plays that coaches just love.
As Campbell's back on the court for the Seahawks, puts that shot up. Doesn't go as Newellaway gets the rebound. Hunter bringing the ball up. Cross to Jelena. Into Newellaway. Back out to Kwani, who takes the three-point. Didn't quite get there. Loose ball, and the Marlins have got it.
Krislovic with another rebound. He's definitely proving his worth as just a solid contributor. Like, he might not give you the points, but he'll give you all the little things that helps with getting such a high percentage win for his college team.
Shot put up there by Jelena at the last second of the free.
Jamison 1 on 3.
Oh.
Just showing some class there, finishing up over Jacoby.
34-25 with 6 minutes to go in this first half of basketball, early Sattler Stadium. Jelena with the ball, out to Jacoby, across to Newellaway. Inside to Jacoby Hunter, tried with the right hook.
Another board to Krislovic. He's trying to steady against three. Krislovic finds Hunter for the deuce.
And he'll go to the free throw line for that and one. Bring it on for the Marlins.
That's a huge poised play from Krislovic. He's got the board. He's battling 2 or 3 Seahawks who are all over him. He's found the open. It was almost a no-look pass to find Hunter for the easy finish. Seahawks showing plenty of spirit, plenty of fight, which is exactly what Coach Lawyer wanted. He wants this young team to bring the juice. He wants them to stay in those contests. They've definitely got the energy. Do they have the finesse? Not at this stage, but they're certainly showing some positive signs that they can work with throughout the season as a new QBL side.
Now Jamison brings the ball up for the Seahawks. He has Kwani in front of him. Shot goes up. Marlins have the rebound.
He finds an open look for Lomax, who was fading off that screen.
Krislovic off to Kwani. Kwani goes for the basket and makes the 2.
It's a nice soft finish by Kwani. Kwani with the right hand. Nice soft finish off the glass. It's a nice touch.
So Campbell over the top of Krislovic, doesn't get the ball to drop. Newellaway with the rebound. Bring the ball back up now. All the way coast to coast, and he is stripped, just going up for the ball illegally. So he'll go to the line for 2 more.
Seahawks have struggled when they've kind of gone one pass into a terminal shot. It's a terminal play. If you get the ball through hands, you find those open looks. If you go terminal, if you go one-on-one, then you end up with fast break buckets for the other team down the other end.
There'll be a timeout here to the Seahawks. They need to talk it over. 39-25 with 4:47 left in this first half.
Seahawks really cut that deficit down at the start of the first part of the second quarter. These last few minutes have been a little bit undisciplined. I want to see them get back to moving that ball, finding those open shooters.
So is some of that lousy from backing up from a game last night? A little bit of fatigue starting to set in. Do they have the legs to get through this entire game? It would have been a tough match for them last night.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think mentally, you know, this is where your leaders have to lead this young side. You want to get quality buckets. If there is fatigue in the legs, you've got to move. You let the ball do the work. Move the ball through sets of hands. That's how you get those open looks. Just putting your head down and burrowing against one and then drawing two, trying to force up a shot is not going to get it done for the Seahawks. But this is the young side. The coaches are looking for bigger picture gains. They're looking for bigger picture positivity. And I think Jamison can really lead this squad. Just a few small tweaks, and they're definitely within the contest, as Coach Loy was saying pre-game.
So Noelaway at the line for free throw. Misses that one. He hasn't made one tonight yet. And he puts that one down. So he's 1 from 4 from the free throw line, Noelaway. Kawani puts some pressure on the ball handler, bringing it up.
Yeah.
Campbell has it now with Kawani in front of him. Matt Smith back on the court for the Marlins. Lets them take the three-point shot, and that was too strong. Kawani now has the ball, bringing that back up for the Marlins.
Noelaway is so athletic for a smaller guard. He's playing a big man spot, and his elevation on those rebounds, his athleticism definitely allows him to play at that big spot.
The turnover there by the Marlins is Jamison, fronts up to Matt Smith, and the ball goes around the hoop string, gets his own rebound and puts it down.
He's getting that offensive rebound, Gav. He knows how crucial those extra rebound stats are. Puts up the layup, doesn't get it to go, but knows that there's stats coming.
As Noelaway steps out of court after being passed the ball from Jacoby Hunter, who was double teamed in the bottom corner.
Both sides raising the tempo here. Marlins in a full court press off that free throw. Seahawks upping the ante on the defensive pressure, get the deflection out of bounds, and now they get the ball back to their troubles.
So substitutions there for the Marlins. We've got Fisher, Matzek, Noelaway, Smith and Jelena on court as Campbell gets given the open three, of which he misses, and Fish catches the rebound.
It's a good look for Campbell. Oh, the steal by the Seahawks.
Great rebound. It's a great block there by Fish. Fortunately, rebounded to an offensive rebound, and the Seahawks still get the score.
Lamarkin had a great steal. Unfortunately, gets blocked by Fish, who sends it.
Matzek into Noelaway, into Jelena. Cops a bit of a whack across the back of the neck there, and it's going to go to the free throw. Sorry, it's going to be 2 shots from the free throw line.
We've got 5 team fouls, so yeah, it will be at the free throw line. Nice push of the ball by the Marlins. Found Matt Smith in the post, kicked out the weak side. Found Jelena, who got fouled on the cut.
He's had 2 from 4 tonight. Make that 3 from 5, as it's 40-29 with 3 minutes and 9 seconds to go. That improves his percentage a bit more with another one. 42-29. Marlins up by 13. Campbell now has the ball for the Seahawks. Three-point shot by Lomax. Oh, net. Great shot by Lomax.
And Lomax went 0 for 4 against Townsville last night. He knows he can get a high percentage three-point shooting off. If he can just get a few to drop, he'll be a high confidence shooter.
Well, that was his first one that went down tonight. Put the score to 42-32. 2.5 to go as Fish pushes for the basket and has been called for an offensive foul.
So Lomax doing it at both ends of the floor, draws the charge.
Coach O'Loughlin having another chat with the referees here. And Fish and Lamankin are having a few words down the court as well. So I believe Coach O'Loughlin's been given a warning from the referee, so he'll have to be a little bit quiet for a few more minutes until we get to half time before I can speak to his boys. So Lomax brings the ball up, off to Campbell, hand off to Jamison, back to Campbell. Campbell, step back with a foot on the line, doesn't quite make it. And Jelena ends up with the ball. And
Marlins will want to stay disciplined down the stretch. You don't want to go to half-time having squandered a lead. They definitely want to increase it past that 10-point mark.
So timeout here by the Marlins, 2 minutes and 5 to go. 10-point lead, 42-32.
Seahawks in a good position here. If they can get a few stops and close this quarter out strong, then you're coming back into that second half of the game with your tail up, and you want to go into that halftime break with a bit of momentum on your side. Campbell just trying to establish himself with that step back three, almost forced it up a bit. This is the time where Jamison can really steady the ship for the Seahawks, work the ball through hands, get some good quality shots to close out this quarter.
So Kawani's got 13 points for the Marlins, followed by Jelena and Fisher, both on 8. So Nuelaway 5 points himself. But the rebounds, Krislovic 6 rebounds and Nuelaway 6 rebounds. As you said before, Lousy, Nuelaway, he can certainly jump.
Yeah, look, it's big. It's a luxury to have when your team has that athleticism. Krislovic all over the boards already, doing all the little things. I really like how he's settling in. I'd like to see him maybe get a few more looks, a few more touches. But it's almost not his game to just go and take over one-on-one. He's a team player. He's unselfish. The ball movement, just let the ball find you, and he'll put a lid on the finishes that he needs to. But he's definitely not forcing it up, which is also what I like from Krislovic.
So inbound for the Marlins, Jelena off to Fisher, to Kawani, to Nuelaway, puts up the 2, doesn't drop, and the Seahawks offered running. Jamison bringing the ball down. Contested by Nuelaway, Fish gets the rebound, and the Marlins are back on their way up to the end.
Jamison may be unlucky to not get a foul call there on that finish. A few hands in the play. Seahawks dispossess the Marlins. Jamison back at the other end. Travel. An extra step for Jamison. He's feeling the pinch a bit. A few plays not going his way. Just needs to keep a cool head, doing the right things. You're getting to the rack. That's exactly what you want to do. Just want to reward yourself.
He's certainly putting his name forward for being the player to keep this team going forward here tonight. Bringing back the margin to 10 points as Fish takes the 3 from the corner. And once again, Fish in the net.
Just doesn't hesitate, just lets that baby go. Nice 3 from the corner there for Fish. He's feeling confident tonight.
Minute to go, 45 to the Marlins, 32 to the Seahawks. A switch there with Nuelaway on Goldfinch. Switch back again. You're well away. Up for that rebound. Off to Jelena. 1-on-2. And Fish gets the tap in.
The nice dish off there from Jelena. Couldn't get the 2 to finish, but Fish is always there for those scraps. And an offensive rebound, if you don't mind.
Get those stats up. Jamison on the far side of the court, guarded by Nuelaway. Goldfinch setting a screen for him. Had to switch. Out to Lomax.
Lomax, there you go. You've got 2 now. He's feeling confident. He's got a nice stroke on him. A shooter's mentality is got to shoot your way out of a funk. If last night 0 for 4 is going to be a funk, then he's definitely back on the right track now.
So Fish takes the ball up, has a shot, and that's half time, folks. 47-35, Marlins in front by 12 points. So Al, that first half was a great game by the Marlins. They played well, they fought hard, but the Seahawks, even after a game last night, they came out and they were pretty strong.
Yeah, look, Marlins had close to 30 points in that first quarter. The Seahawks kept them to 20 in this quarter. So their scoring dried up just a little bit. Seahawks, conversely, I really thought they fought it back in the first part of that second quarter. They just had a few undisciplined plays, but it sort of finished strong. Get this game under 10 points for the Seahawks, and they'll be happy to start this third quarter, pegging this game back.
Excellent, Lousy. We'll take a short break now, folks, and we'll be back for the second half at Early Sattler Stadium. Lousy, we're back here at Early Settler Stadium getting ready for the second half of this game. 12-point leads in the Marlins. Seahawks have done pretty well, even though they played last night in Townsville and copped a bit of a touch-up down there. How close can they keep it?
Seahawks have stayed in touch with this contest, shown a few signs of ill discipline at various stages, finishing up that first half. They just need to get those good looks to bring this thing back to within under 10 and then go from there. Marlins, conversely, Coach O'Loughlin really trying to stem those peaks and valleys and really try and get some consistency out of his guys. He'll be a little bit concerned with where it dropped off and how the lead really vanished a little bit. They'll be looking to come out super energetic, really run this Seahawks team down after their game last night. But he really wants to make a statement tonight. He's lost 2 games at home. This is a statement game. He won't want to rest until it's a 20 or 30 point buffer. But a new team, new players in the mix. So Marlins got some positive signs.
So Kwani and Fish, 13 points apiece. Help from Gerlina, he's got 8. And as you said, Krislovic coming in, no points, but it's all those little things that he's been doing since he got on the court. The rebounds, the possessions, putting his hand in, had those deflections. Great pickup for the Marlins.
Yeah, absolutely. Krislovic just being solid, just letting the ball come to him. He's got the rebounds. He's been hammered by 2 or 3 defenders. He's found open guys. No-look passes, finishes for other players on the rim. This is an unselfish Marlins team. That's what Jeremy O'Loughlin will be pleased about, and he's also gone to his bench earlier on in the game than in the last 2 previous weeks, which is also a big thing. If you can have contributors off the bench, then that really sets you up for a solid team in this QBL league. Now, talk about contributions off the bench. Jacoby Hunter, the 2-hand slam off the 1 foot, off a steal. Other guys from the bench really bringing the juice and valuable minutes and allowing players like Fish to rest and then reload for strategic minutes in that first half. The Seahawks down the other end, Jamison getting to the rim, unlucky on a few occasions, but really steadying the ship for the Seahawks. Campbell getting established, but also with a few too many undisciplined shots where there could have been ball distribution and finding open players. Seahawks really trying to come together to find that balance of when to go on those one-on-one plays and when to find those open shooters.
So Jamison, top scorer for the Seahawks on 12 points. Last night's top scorers, Goldfinch and Campbell, both on 5.
And Goldfinch is an exciting young player. We spoke before, he's heading to college before the conclusion of this season. But what an upside for such a young player. 28 points in a QBL game last night. He looks confident out there. He's got good frame on him to really put some size on in the upcoming years. I think it's a name that we're going to have to get remembering for one in the years to come. And I'm really excited to see what he can do at college.
Yes, off to college for a stint, and hopefully doesn't perform too well, and he is able to come back to Australian basketball, and we don't lose him to another European. As the Marlins get this second half started with Fish handling the ball. Krislovic sets the screen, and Kwani, oh, that's another one for his social page.
The set play, the diversion, the alley-oop to Kwani. This time, a 2-hand slammer jammer off the 2 feet. Is there anything this guy can't do?
That's 2 posters that he's got on his social media now as he defends Jamison, puts his hand up.
He was telling me in the warm-up too, there's another one coming. I was like, I wonder when it's going to be. Kwani, the first play of the game, of course. Of course.
He'll get subbed out shortly so he can post that one as well. Side ball for the Marlins. Jelena, inbound to Fish. Fish off to Kwani. Back to Jelena. Inbound to what is it? Krislovic. Didn't quite get that one.
Great D by Jamison. Deflected that shot. Elevated higher than him. Jamison down the other end. Coast to coast. draws the contact and gets to the free throw line. That's the kind of leading that Jamison can bring to the Seahawks side and really boost the guys.
So second foul on Krislovic. Jamison will be to the free throw line. He's 100% from there so far tonight, 2 from 2.
And if you're tuning in, we appreciate you not flicking back over to the wedding, the royal wedding. The action is right here at Cairns basketball at the fish tank.
As Jamison puts those in, it's 37-49, 9 minutes to go.
Seahawks.
A bit of pressure up the court here from the Seahawks.
Seahawks going up tempo, double on the ball. They've got the steal. Great work by the Seahawks now. Can they convert?
Jamison with the ball on Uwelloe to the ring and puts down that too.
And Lamarkin had a great drive, dished out to Jamison who got on the rim. Great job by Lamarkin.
Uwelloe hand off to Fish. Kawani through every set of hands there. Ends up with Uwelloe who scores the 2.
Brilliant drive baseline by Jurlina. He brought the double team, found the drop off to Uwelloe, just elevates. Nice little finish with the left hand.
So Goldfinch has the ball for the Seahawks. Back to Jamison. Lomax puts up the 3, doesn't get it, and Kawani ends up with the rebound. Off to Fish, and the Marlins are back down their end. Uwelloe sets the screen. Fish puts up the 3, and once again it's Fish in the net.
Fish just looks so confident off that early step-up pick. Just pulls in nicely for the 3-ball splash.
That's out to 15 points now, 54-39, 7:45 to go in the third quarter. Jamison and working the play at the top of the key. Campbell for a long 3. Doesn't fall, and Fish gets another rebound. Pass off to Kawani, alley-oop, and Uwelloe flushes another one. The social media is going to go live here tonight. It's going to have so many posts.
It's going to be a combination post. It's going to be multiple videos. There might even be a soundtrack to it.
I can see Lousy 40 is going to be on top of that one.
Nice finish by Lomax. He elevated, tried to find the pass off, decided to go back for the shot and gets it to drop.
Jelena finds Krislovic. He can't get that one to drop either. As Jamison comes up the court, hand off to Goldfinch. He's not shy of putting up the shot and drops the 3.
Good contest by Uwelloe, but Goldfinch, classy shooter, nice stroke on him.
Jelena steps out of court there. So it's going to be a Seahawks ball.
The intensity's lifted by the Seahawks, but the deficit is still at 12 points. Can they get a few shots here? They just need to stem the bleeding down the other end. They get a few stops in a row. Hopefully get under 10 points for the Seahawks, then they're back in this game.
So Jamison and Quinton working together there. Gets the ball off to Lomax. Lomax setting up again, and he has stepped out of court as well. Did we get that tape measure out, mate? I don't think we got it out and measured whether or not it was regulation size court. It seems to be an issue for everyone tonight.
We saw 3 in the women's game earlier on. We've seen 2 tonight already.
And that's going to be a foul called on Lomarkin. And it's the Marlins ball. Kawani into Jolena. Jolena calls for the play. Sets up to Krizovic. Kawani in the corner. Good first step, all the way, baseline drive, and he has scored.
Really nice move from Kawani. Again, he was outside the 3-point line. It's a one-step drive, and you're on the rim. That's exactly what Coach Kelly's going to be really looking for in this upcoming Taipan season, and Kawani's really stepped up in that department. Fish just got the sticky hands. The ball went straight to him. Krislovic, nice spin. The finish.
And that's Krislovic's first points, but it's the rest of the contribution that he's had tonight that I'm absolutely stoked that he's been picked up by Jamie O'Loughlin here in Cairns.
Real mobile, big man, catches the ball, spins. Quiney on the drive. Oh. The big and one play by Quiney. Nice poise, nice finish. As I was saying before, Krislovic caught it in transition, spun, still got the finish to go. Real nice feet for a big man. Marlins have got a great pickup.
So Kwani at the free throw line where he's 100% tonight. 3 from 3 so far.
Seahawks really searching for answers. They can't have undisciplined play that leads to fast break buckets for the Marlins. Jamison will play the whole game probably tonight. Campbell's got big contributions that he needs to fulfill for this side. But it's tough when you've got to draw 3 players at every turn.
So Kwani brings the ball back down. Krislovic, Jelena, Fisher in the corner. Baseline drive, finds Nuelaway, and
boom.
He flashes another one. And that is 65-44 with 4 minutes 50 to go.
Anthony Fisher, that drive to the middle, finds Nuelaway, who just loads up off the 2 feet. Strong 2-hand throwdown by Nuelaway.
So Jamison off to Goldfinch. LeMakin has run into Kwani, and Kwani's been called for a foul.
He did a good job to show his hands, Kwani, but unfortunately hit LeMakin with the leg. They'll call a foul. Kwani has a seat. Checking into the game, Aaron Wynne-Jones for the first time tonight. Marlins enjoying a 21-point buffer, which allows Coach O'Loughlin to go to the bench and get some valuable minutes for some of his youngsters.
So Jamison again driving to the basket.
Nice move by Jamison. Finds the angle off the lane there. Attacks hard with the left hand this time. A left hand finish. Good stuff from Jamison.
So Jelena calls for the horn setup, and it's been a foul. It's going to be a side ball to the Marlins.
Abolito a little bit frisky on that defensive effort there, but I like his hustle, I like that energy. Seahawks really need more of that, more up and in pressure.
So Krislovic's into Jelena, top of the... Fish puts up for another 3, and once again, Fish in the net.
Fish left wide open. Great job by the Marlins, finding that extra pass.
Jamison out to Campbell.
LeMakin.
Fish gets another rebound there. 68-46, 22 points. Jelena sets up for the 3, but drives to the basket. Can't make it count, but gets fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Nice little drive into the lane there by Jelena. Little Euro step to try and finish with that right. Gets fouled, absorbs the contact. Couldn't quite get it to fall. But will head to the line. Marshall Ware checking back into the game for Krislovic. Jamie O'Loughlin sensing with that lead, Gav, that he's got a bit more room to play with. Rest Krislovic, he's just arrived into town. Give him a bit of a breather. Give those younger guys a chance to have a run around.
We've got Jacoby Hunter back on the court now, so look for another session to set up for your social media. He likes to get above the rim and certainly flash them. So Jelena at the line, he's going to shoot 2. So far tonight, he's been 4 from 6. Make that 5 from 7. So Marlins push that lead out to 23. make that 24. Is that now 70 points for the Marlins. Lamarkin bringing the ball up for the Seahawks. Out to the corner where Goldfinch had his feet set, but missed that three.
Lamarkin's got a nice handle. Real low to the ground, but a real tight dribble. It's found the open player in the corner. They're getting the right looks. They just need to knock them down, the Seahawks.
As Jelena knocks down to 3 points for the Marlins. The Seahawks set up in a bit of a zone there. Lamarkin again, handling the ball.
There you go.
All the way, but couldn't get it off the glass.
Nice foot speed. Gets past that on ball.
Oh,
he needs to reward himself. Ware with the 2-point finish.
And this time it's Goldfinch bringing the ball up. He's pulled back out.
Goldfinch out to Campbell. Nice little step back. Spilled his lollies. Stolen by Wynn Jones, who goes to the rim, gets rejected out of bounds by Goldfinch. I like him attacking to the hoop like that. Maybe it was a Euro step to the other side, but I like that. I like where his head's at. Still aiming to go for that hoop, not just going to dish it off somewhere. You've got to take it to the hoop with confidence. He'll make the adjustment on the next one.
Absolutely, and as you said, with a 29-point lead, Coach O'Loughlin's got that opportunity to use some of his bench players to give them some of that time that they probably wouldn't get normally. And having some of these younger guys on the court shows what depth the Marlins could have with years to come, and also for the rest of this season.
Yeah, absolutely, and even for the Seahawks, I mean, they've got a young squad. Lamarkin strong at the point. Is still able to drive in and find those lanes, but the Marlins definitely enjoying a lot of that experience for those youngsters. That crucial minutes on the floor where you get used to those bigger bodies in the QBL. You get used to the speed of the QBL in a men's league. That all comes back to help the Marlins down. And when the chips are down at the end of the season, you're looking to your bench to be confident. Speaking of bench, we've got the whole bench on for the Marlins to probably close out this third quarter.
Yeah, give the starters a bit of a break before they finish off the game. Jacoby Hunter. And deflection there by the Seahawks, and it's going to be a Marlins ball. 17 seconds on the shot clock. Wynn Jones to inbound.
Seahawks in a zone off the baseline. Inbounds. Stolen by Campbell. Oh. It's a nice extra pass to Goldfinch. Unfortunately, they just didn't pull it off, but it's the right read. These are the things that a coach of a young side is going to really try and stem. Can they get some quality discipline on those passes?
As Jacoby Hunter down the lane has a nice little floater for two more. 77-46, minute 50 to go in this third quarter.
You try and look at it as a big picture. If the players are making the right read, then you've got to be happy with that. If they didn't quite execute the technical side of it, that maybe the pass was off, then okay, then you can work on that.
So Campbell has a drive through the lane there and puts up the two. Foul's been called on Jalen Bintal. Oh, sorry. Marshall Ware. So Campbell not having as many points as last night, still only on 5. And that's his first free throw tonight. So he hasn't been driving to the basket, obviously, like last night.
Yeah, I mean, one for 8. He's not going to be happy with this, the output so far. Jamison obviously leading the way, shooting at 63%. He's been the shining light for the Seahawks tonight. Seahawks in a full court press, trying to up the ante to close out this quarter.
And why wouldn't you, when the Marlins have got the bench on, see what pressure the younger guys can handle. Matt Smith puts up the shot, and that's money for Matt Smith.
And great play by the Marlins. Had Ware finding the gap in penetration, finding Matt Smith just off the block. Nice little touch for the big fella just off the post there. Still being serviceable, and he's 38 years of age.
And Jamison was on a fast break there, and
Jacoby Hunter.
Sorry, Jacoby Hunter for the Marlins was on the fast break. And yeah, unsportsmanlike foul has been called on Habilito.
Yeah, the ref's Dean, there wasn't a good enough play on the ball. He's gone in for the reach to try and disrupt the play, automatic technical foul. If you're behind the play, you can't just go in there and stop the momentum anymore.
So 2 for Jacoby Hunter, 81:47 minute to go, and Marlins possession from the halfway. So deflection from Jamison. Goldfinch up the floor quickly.
The Seahawks zone pays off. Another deflection by Marlins this time. It'll be Seahawks ball.
54 seconds to go in this third quarter. 34 points the difference. Campbell takes the inbound, takes well, it's only been called a 2. He must have had a toe on the line there, or a toenail. I thought it was pretty close to a 3.
Campbell with a much needed 2. He's been coming up short a bit this game. Bintahu drives from the 45, cops a hip and shoulder by Habilito. Bintahu will go to the line for 2 free throws.
And that's 5 fouls on Habilito, so he's going to take a seat for the rest of the night. He's not going to get a chance.
Look, he's been active. They've just been a little too aggressive on the hands fouls. You want the energy from your players, and you want the footwork to be correct. You don't want to creep into those bad habits of just reaching in with those hands fouls. So Habilito will sit out for the rest of the game.
As Jalen Pintar makes his first, and we've had Nathan Lemke check in from the Marlins, another player that's seeing his first minutes for the Marlins tonight. So definitely got the bench on here. Campbell off to Goldfinch, who puts up a quick shot, and
Ware with the rebound. Bintahu the steady for the Marlins. Need a quality shot. 1 second shot clock differential. They can use it all up here, but you'll take a quality 3-point shooter.
And that's a great shot by Jalen Bintal. 86-49, seconds are counting down. Jamison just easing his way up the court. 1 second to go. I don't think he realises. And well done by the Marlins. They didn't see the shot clock gone. And that is 3-quarter time, 86-49. The Marlins have a 37-point lead.
I don't mind that 3 ball by Jalen. There's 7 seconds left in the quarter shot clock. When you're open and you're in rhythm and range and you're a good shooter, you're expected to shoot it. Maybe if the game was tighter, you use up the shot clock to round out the quarter and have that game management. But you knock down the shot, no one can say anything. So great stuff, Jalen Bintahu.
So it was 39 points last night, 82-121. Lousy whip. The ball. Off to college for a stint and
going, you know, that'll be a crucial part for this team moving forward. It's not all on Jamison to do the bulk of the heavy lifting at the point guard spot. Goldfinch a great young player. You know, he's going to be leaving the program pretty soon. But for those other young guys, if you're making the right reads, then the coach can be happy with that. He can take positives out of that. If they're just jacking up shots and going one-on-one, yeah, that's probably not the habits you want to be building. If you can tell that they're thinking the right things by making those good reads, then you've got something to build on. That's the positives that you can take out of, you know, the games this season in the QBL for the Seahawks. Maybe there's some blowouts, but you're looking for small gains in areas that you can build upon. So, you know, it's a big thing for the Seahawks to be in the QBL, in the men's program, and it's a great thing for the QBL to have them on board. They want to stay in the QBL long term. They don't just want to come in for a year or two and leave. They want to come in and establish and do it the right way and be here for the long term.
So Jamison's 18 points, the top scorer for the Seahawks tonight. Hasn't had a lot of help in scoring, but Campbell has certainly put up a few shots. Hasn't got them all to drop. And here we go with Jamison again. Triple teamed down on the baseline there, and the foul's been called.
Found the open look for Goldfinch. The foul was called, but it was the right read. Definitely want to lead the team that way.
So Campbell with the baseline inbounds. The shot goes up. And Jacoby Hunter off and running, off to the races. Got the ball back again. Once again, O'Loughlin has gone with his bench here. Plenty of time for the starters to rest up with Jamison up the court.
Russell for the on ball. Jamison trying to split the on ball. Gets called a foul on the Marlins there. They'll take it from the side. I want to see more of that from the Seahawks. Sprinting into picks, coming off aggressively, making the read, splitting the hard show from the Marlins, splitting that, getting into the lane, finding open guys. This is the kind of basketball that Seahawks got to do. Ball distribution, find the open players, and take your shots, the opportunities when they come to you.
So we've only played 40 seconds in this final quarter. How long do you think O'Loughlin will keep his bench players out there for? I mean, he's got a handy lead. He can leave them out there for a long time.
They'll be out there for most of the rest of the game. Probably rest Chris Levick for the rest of the game now, just to get him acclimated. You know, he's got a few minutes to get going that first half. Don't need to rush Chris Levick into bulk minutes right now.
You can see the frustration on Jamison there. He's like drove all the way to the basket. Had the offload, but the offload wasn't picked up. So Hunter off to Wyn Jones, back to Hunter, who drives. And that's been a foul called on Jamison. With the bench on.
Russell to sit down for the Seahawks. Marlins to inbound the ball. 8 minutes 52 left in the final term. Marlins enjoying just a commanding lead. Zintahill from the top of the key. Marlins dispossessed. Jamison for the easy two-hand throwdown, if you don't mind, Gav. Thought he was just going to go in for the easy two. Had the surprise rise. Had a little exclamation point.
And
nice.
That's a great drive to the basket.
Ware attacking hard with the left hand through the key. Battled 2 or 3 Seahawks.
And Goldfinch banks up a big three. Doesn't get the shot to drop.
Lemke with the big board.
Outlet pass there to Wyn Jones. Lemke again. Wynne Jones on Campbell, and Campbell gets called for the foul. It's going to be a side ball. High scoring fourth quarter here, 2 points each, 88-51, 8 minutes to go. So Jacoby Hunter to inbound the ball all the way to the top, Ware to Bintal. Tries to split that, fight for the ball, and the Seahawks come up with it. And there's been a technical foul called on the Seahawks bench.
The assistant coach. Not sure what he's upset about, because the Seahawks they dispossessed the Marlins of the ball. They're off to the races.
Yeah.
There's no reason to spoil the opportunity to get out the fast break.
Goldfinch takes a seat as Lomax comes back on.
Wynne Jones will enjoy a couple of freebies. So one free throw on the side ball, my mistake.
That's his first points for the Marlins from the free throw line there tonight. Jacoby Hunter off to Bintal, internal pass to Ware. Jacoby Hunter off to Wynne Jones in the corner, feet set, 3-point shot.
And great ball distribution by the Marlins. Everyone touched the ball. Coach O'Loughlin will be happy with that play from his bench crew.
Deflection there on the pass from Campbell to Jamison, and it's going to be a side ball for the Seahawks. So Jamison to inbounds, finds Lomax. Lomax has the ball deflected, and Nemke comes up with that one. Bintal back on the way down to, and gets called for the offensive foul with an extended elbow.
A fend off by Bintal. Just trying to give himself a bit of breathing room. Got pinged for the offensive foul.
So the Seahawks bring the ball up. Jamison has it. Jacoby Hunter on him. It's been a switch now. Nemke. It's Jamison with the step back. Can't get that one to go. And nice little floater.
Tyrus with the finish. Seahawks still giving that energy. They're up at the floor now. There's another deflection. They definitely.
Oh!
That's a heavy foul. Thought he was going to shoot the 3 ball.
Came in from behind.
Unaware that he was going to go on the drive. Look, it is a heavy foul. It is a heavy foul. Unsportsmanlike foul is called, and look, it was an accident, but it was definitely a hard foul. You probably got to, does it warrant the technical? I think it deserves a free throw on a side ball. If you get to squash a player and sit on their head on the landing, like surely the other team gets a free throw on a side ball, Gav.
You got to protect the offensive player, don't you? So stepping up to take free throws is Mans.
But even at 36 points down, the Seahawks up and in the pressure. There's the deflection. There's activity there. There's positive signs. There's no quit there. I mean, the coach isn't really worried about the scoreboard at this point. He's worried about how do they continue to go about their business, the Seahawks. How do they keep those energy levels up? How do they continue to disrupt the Marlins and put some points back on the board?
So he's looking for the effort for these guys to finish off the game. 6 minutes 50 to go, 89-55. Yes, it's a blowout. But he wants the guys to play out the game as Jamison goes upstairs again.
He rips base. He's past the first line of D. He rises above for the two-hand throwdown with contact. And I think he quietly enjoyed that play. Wynne Jones the lefty from the corner. A big bucket for the youngster.
Extends the lead by 1. 92-57. And that's going to be a foul called on Jalen Bintal.
Man, that's a nice throw down by Jamison. That rip base past the first line of defense, drawing the second line for contact and actually squeeze it in and give the two-hand flush. It's an impressive move.
So Coach O'Loughlin's called for a timeout here. 6:14 to go, 92-57. And just looking over at the bench there, he doesn't seem to be putting any of the starters back in.
No, they're halfway to Fitzroy Island now for drinks. The bench is going to close this game out, but Jamie O'Loughlin, he's still going to be on them for all the disciplinary things. Are you on those tag ups when there's a missed shot? Are you on your defender being up on them full court? He spoke to me early before. He doesn't want these peaks and valleys to be so large. If they're ahead, he wants to stay ahead. He wants them to put the habits in place that win a basketball contest if it is a close contest. So he won't let up on the disciplinary things. He'll be looking for his bench crew to do the right things here to close this game out.
Well, they need to be disciplined for this next 6 minutes, 14 seconds, as every foul, the Seahawks are going to be going to the free throw line, as the Marlins have already racked up 5 team fouls in this quarter. So there's some easy points on the asking table for the Seahawks if they can exploit that. As Lomax gets his first to drop. He's up to 8 points now. Make it 9 as he drops his second. So the bench is bringing the ball up under a bit of pressure here. So they finally get the ball through. Intercept pass as it was going across to Wyn Jones, and Jamison's got the ball, taking it back up for the... Goes all the way coast to coast.
That's a tough finish by Jamison. Through the contact once again. Jacoby Hunter came across, fancied himself getting a block. But Jamison had the nice finish.
As the Marlins turn the ball over again, 92-61, 5:44 to go.
2 turnovers in a row now for the Marlins. Jamie O'Loughlin speaks about the discipline. Marlins just need to stay poised, make the right read. You got more time than you think.
Jamison again, driving to the bucket, and this time the foul's been called.
Jamison, a man on a mission right now. He's like, I'm going to take this team, all the way to the finish here. I'm going to the rack, getting strong finishes, going to the free throw line, really trying to rally a late surge for the Seahawks.
He's up to 24 points, seems to be all on his own with the scoring department tonight. 4 from 4 from the free throw line. As Matt Smith checks back in for the Marlins.
One of the things that Coach O'Loughlin's going to really look at is everyone's contributed off the bench. There hasn't really been any drop-off once the bench crew has come on board. If anything, they've enhanced the energy. It's real positive signs for the Marlins, and they haven't had to use Chris Levick in his first couple of days in town. So a much-needed win will be coming the Marlins' way tonight.
So the ball's into Matt Smith, who's looking for an outlet pass, gets it out to Wyn Jones, and Jamison's been called for a foul on Wyn Jones. That'll be a side ball.
Seahawks in that zone, just trying to starve the Marlins of those angles, those attacking angles to the rim. Unfortunate to pick up a foul for the Seahawks there, but they're going to be back in the zone. Just trying to clog that paint.
So Hunter's been trapped at the top. Bintal helps out. Back to Jacoby Hunter. Off to Bintal, who drops up for the 3. And Matt Smith has been called for an unsportsmanlike foul as
Matt Smith is looking for a little bit of excitement late in this ball game. He's gone to run down the other end. A big locomotive is just kind of bowled over Goldfinch, who's taken a tumble, but oh, Mans. Apologies, he's knocked over Mans.
I think there was a bit of a height disparity there, and he didn't see him as he turned around. And next thing, he's on the floor and stepped over him. So Mans misses his first.
I guess it's too much to ask a 38-year-old to sidestep one of the smaller guards on his merry way back down the floor.
Gets the second, and Seahawks will have the ball from the half court.
I mean, I get it. You're trying to be efficient. In the age goes, straight lines are always preferred. Whether or not you make it to the other end without getting pulled onto the bench for the unsportsmanlike.
So Lomax puts up a three, which doesn't go. Bintal gets some help from the Ware. He goes all the way to the basket. Doesn't get it to go. Jamison with the rebound. He's got the scoots on. Behind the back pass. Gets to Lomax in the corner. Inside pass back to Lomax. Goldfinch at the top. Shoots the three, and that's all net.
It's a nice stroke by Goldfinch. Seahawks had the 4-on-2, found the guy in the corner, and moved the ball around, threw it to the top of the key to Goldfinch. As we see Lemke, that's the final.
All the Marlin players have now scored. That was that last player we needed to score. And now Lemke has done that. Every player on the Marlins team has got points on the board tonight.
Goldfinch likes his chances again from three.
So Mans on the floor again, gets tripped up by Bintal.
It's a great job by Mans. Seahawks still active. The bench all up when the good play is made by Mans to get that deflection and draw the foul. There's still high energy here from this Seahawks side. It's a young side. We know that their backs are up against the wall a bit in terms of how experienced their players are coming up against some of the older teams in the QBL. But I really like the way that they're finishing this game and still bringing that energy, still bringing that juice.
So the lead's down to 26 points now as the Seahawks have outscored the Marlins 19-7 here in this final quarter. 3:55 to go. Jacoby Hunter brings the ball up, and Goldfinch goes down at half court there.
Nearly a tumble between Hunter and Ware, which won't make it to the socials. But they managed to recuperate. It's going to be Marlins ball from the side.
As Jamison heads to the bench to take a bit of a break.
He'll be out for the rest of the game here. He's battled hard tonight.
Done a great job leading this very young team.
He's had some frustration, but Jamison has also been the one player to really attack the hoop for the Seahawks.
And again, the bench is up applauding the effort that's been put in underneath the basket there. It's a jump ball possession arrow to the Marlins. So 3:33 to go in this final quarter, Lousy. 94-68. As you said, bench is on for the Marlins, and they'll stay on for the rest of the night. You look over at the Marlins bench at the moment. Those boys are towed up, are ready to go to the showers and have a beverage.
Yeah, the starting five not playing over really 24, 25 minutes. Bench getting some real quality minutes. Jalen Bentahu driving through the keyway, trying to get an angle. He's discombobulated and had to throw up the shot.
So Mans is handling the ball for the Seahawks now. He's got Bintal in front of him. Goldfinch trying to break free. Gets the ball. And Heatley for the Seahawks has stepped out on the baseline. So once again, the pressure on up the court by the Seahawks. Marlins get through that. Jacoby Hunter off to Lemke.
Wyn Jones dispossessed by Lomax. He's got 1-on-2. He's going to take him on. Jacoby Hunter, nice little deflection. Lomax to Lamarkin in the corner. Back to Mans from the car park.
And it's still in the car park because it missed everything. So Coach O'Loughlin's up out of his seat at the moment, just trying to get the guys to keep that discipline for the final 2.5 minutes. 26 points up. Ride through the pressure. And get some more points on the board for the Marlins.
And I like that from O'Loughlin, because if you have one of your starters in foul trouble, you need these bench guys to be disciplined down the stretch. You need these bench guys to feel confident and contribute when the chips are down. It's a luxury to have when you're up by so much. You can give them quality time now, and I like that O'Loughlin's still enforcing that discipline for his young guys.
As Bintal heads to the free throw line after being fouled by Mann, makes the first. And putting in the second one, that keeps him at 100% from the free throw line tonight. So Goldfinch bringing the ball up this time for the Seahawks. Lemke on him, gets past him, loses it. Man Jones, oh, nearly a turnover, and there is a turnover. Seahawks with the ball. Mann's driving.
Man, tough to the bucket. Wheels and deals through 2 or 3 Marlins players, and a nice finish for Mann to get the 2.
Under 2 minutes to go, 96-70. Jacoby Hunter is dispossessed.
Oh, great hustle play by Lomax. He's all over the floor. Unlucky to get the jump ball call. I thought that was in his advantage to not be called a jump ball. Lomax diving on the floor. We've got 1 minute 47 left. The game is done, and the Seahawks are still diving on loose balls, giving those hustle plays, those energy, extra effort plays. It's great signs for a young squad.
That's what the coach has got to take out of this for the Seahawks, is all that effort that they are putting in. They know the game's done. They know that they can't win it, but they're still building. They've got 2 guys sitting on the bench over there that are obviously trying to lead this team, but it's a very young squad. Guys are going to be leaving it, going across to the States for college, and it's first year of a QBL program for them. They've got a lot to work on, but they'll get there.
There's some huge upsides. There's boxes that need to be checked, and one of the hardest ones to check is those extra effort, those attitudes for all your players. If you don't check that box where you've got positive attitudes, high energy players, it makes it for a tough season. So they're checking that one off. The next one that they have to check off is just a few technical aspects, completing the play, completing the pass to the right shooters. Some of their passes have gone wayward, but their thoughts have been in the right spot. You can check off a few of these items, then the Seahawks can suddenly make some gains and look at those improvements throughout the QBL season. But there's some real positive signs for them.
So Lemke steps up to the line for 2 free throws after being fouled by Mans. Makes the first. And gets the friendly roll on the second. Oh, so ball passed into Lomax at his feet, and unfortunately kicks it out of play.
It's a bad pass. That's one of the plays that if you don't complete a routine pass, the inbounds pass, they're the kinds of things you've got to clean up.
So Bintal off the inbound. Off to where? Off to Jacoby Hunter. who's going to go to the free throw line as well.
He fancies the continuation. He didn't need it. There was 5 team fouls anyway. Maybe he was hoping for a continuation 3-ball where he could get 3 free throws off, but he'll have to settle for the 2.
So first one in for Jacoby Hunter. And that brings the 100 up for the Marlins, 100-70, minute to go. 9 points for Jacoby Hunter tonight. Goldfinch again. Couple of big hops and blocked. Great block by Jacoby Hunter.
Goldfinch kangaroo step hop into that shot, but Jacoby came from behind to send it, and then Jacoby had words for Goldfinch. Goldfinch snapped back at him. I still like the aggression from both sides here.
So man hands off to Lomax, puts up an absolute short ball.
It's a rainbow. I don't know which car park that was from. Way out.
So 35 seconds to go. Jacoby Hunter is going to call the play. Set something up. Got the ball back. Lemke across to Ware. Wyn Jones puts up the 3-ball. Goldfinch corner pass. Lamarkin to Lomax. 3 didn't go. Lemke gets the rebound, and that, folks, with 4 seconds to go, Jacoby Hunter brings it across the half court, and that is the game. 100-70. The Marlins have taken the game tonight here at Early Settler Stadium over the Seahawks. Seahawks, first year in the QBL, and got some work to do, but there's a lot of positive signs from that, Lousy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Seahawks will, they're looking at the bigger picture stuff. They're looking at, how they go about their business, and we saw a lot of really positive signs from the Seahawks tonight. A lot of those energy plays, a lot of those extra effort areas are taken care of. They need to work on their finesse, on their skill set. For the Marlins, first win at home for the Marlins in the building here. A crucial win for the Marlins, really, just to appease the 2 losses from before against Mackay and Rockhampton. But really great signs for the Marlins with Chris Levick in town, bringing all those extra things that he brings. They've now got their squad for the season, and they're looking to build on that. Coach O'Loughlin will be really proud of how they stemmed those momentum shifts, those negative momentum shifts, and really minimize the damage that those swings can bring, which is what he was asking for. He wanted more discipline. He wanted more consistency. He got that tonight. The bench crew, contributions from everyone that checked into the ball game. They lifted the juice. They brought the energy that the Marlins needed. So a real enjoyable game for the coaches to break down in video in the next couple of days. But for the Marlins, a great night for them to get the 30-point win. For the Seahawks, lick their wounds, go back and focus on the positives, Gav.
Lousy, thanks for that tonight. I think you've been fantastic with your insight of the game. Great win by the Marlins here at Early Settler Stadium. We'll be back next week with the Townsville Fire on Friday night, and do it all again.
Be sure to check the socials, because Kawani and Nuelaway and Jamison are all going to be lighting it up in your pages coming up on Monday.
Excellent. Thanks for that, Lousy, and we'll be signing off and see you again next week.
Leading off.
Lousy, we're back.
Being established, but also with a few too many undisciplined shots where there could be get, remember, really put some size on, and the